I learned in this message that General Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I first left him.
How many soldiers have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort, and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved his part and equally remembered by General Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad of it.
I've already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him. So much so that joy could not show itself modest enough without a purge of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure!
A kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better it is to weep at joy than to joy at weeping.
I pray you, is Madame Balestra returned from the wars or no?
I know none by that name. There was none in the army of any sort.
What is she that you ask for, nephew?
My cousin means Major Beatrice of Padua.
Oh, she's returned, and as pleasant as she ever was.
I pray you, how many have she killed and eaten in these wars? But how many has she killed? For indeed, I promise to eat all of her killing.
Faith, nephew, you tax Major Beatrice too much. But she'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
She has done good service in these wars.
She's a very valiant trencherman. She hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, gentlemen.
And a good soldier to a gentleman. But what is she to a lady?
You must not, friend, mistake my nephew. There is a kind of merry war twixt Major Beatrice and him. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wits between them.
Alas, she gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of her 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole woman governed with 1. Who's her companion now? She hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Very easily possible.
I see, sir, the lady is none in your books.
No! If she were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who's her companion? Is there no young squire now that will make a voyage with her to the devil?
She is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord! She'll hang upon him like a disease. She's sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio, if he have caught the Beatrice.
I will hold friends with you, sir.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, nephew.
No, not till a hot January.
Good Madam Leonora, you are come to meet your troubles. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides and happiness takes his leave.
Oh, you embraced your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable mother.
If Madame Leonora be her mother, she would not have her head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like her as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Major Beatrice. Nobody marks you.
What, my dear Signor Disdain? Are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while it hath such meat food to feed it as Major Beatrice? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in its presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain I am loved of all men, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to men. I thank God and my cold blood. I am of your humor for that. I would rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a woman swear she loves me.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way. In God's name, I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonora. Captain Claudio and Major Beatrice, my dear friend Leonora hath invited you all. I tell her we shall stay here at least a month, and she heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear she is no hypocrite, but prays from her heart.
If you swear, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, sir. Being reconciled to the general, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, at your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonora. We will go together.
Beatrice, didst thou note the daughter of Madame Leonora?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do for my simple true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom?
No! Oh, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith, methinks.
She too low for a high praise, too red for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yeah, and a case to put it into.
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked upon.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Is it come to this? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to! Oh, look, General Pedro is returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you followed not to Leonora's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear that, Captain Claudio? I can be secret as a mute man. I would have you think so, but on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance. He is in love. With who? Now that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonora's short daughter.
If this were so, so were it uttered.
Amen if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, sir.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, sir, I spoke mine.
And by my two faiths and troth, sir, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is an opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain her part, but in the force of her will.
That a man fathered me, I thank him. That he brought me up, I likewise give him most humble thanks. All men shall pardon me, because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for which I may go the finer, I shall live single.
I shall see thee ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, General, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking, and pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if thou dost ever fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument. Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
I look for an earthquake too, then.
Well, you will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Major Beatrice, repair to Leonora's, Commend me to her and tell her I will not fail her at supper, for indeed she hath made great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage. And so I leave you.
Sir, you now may do me good.
Oh, my love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonora any son, good sir?
No child but Hero. She's her only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, yes, sir. When you went onward on that ended action, I looked on her with a soldier's eye that liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting how fair young Hero is, saying, I liked her ere I went to war.
Thou wilt be like the lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her mother, and the conclusion is thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How well you do minister to love that no loves grief by his complexion. But, lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look what will serve as fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair Hero I am Claudio. In her bosom I'll unclasp my heart with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. And then to her mother I will break, and the conclusion is she shall be thine. In practice, let's put it presently.
How now, brother?
Oh, sister, I can tell you strange news you have yet not dreamt of.
Are they good?
As the event stamps them, they have a good cover. They show well outward. The General and Claudio, walking in a thick-pleached alley in mine orchard, were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The General discovered to Claudio that he loves my niece, your daughter, and means to acknowledge it this night in a dance. If he finds her in accordance, means to take the task by the top, and instantly break with you of it.
Had the fellow any wit that told you this?
He's a good sharp fellow. I'll send for him, you can question him yourself.
No. We will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter with all, that she may be the better prepared for an answer, if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it.
What the good word? Sir, why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure for the occasion that breeds. Therefore sadness is without limits.
You should hear reason.
When I have heard of it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou, sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goest to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, smile at no man's jest, eat when I have stomach, wait for no man's leisure, sleep when I am drowsy, tend on no man's business, laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yeah, but you must not make full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, who hath taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible for you to take true roots, but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. It better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though, I cannot be said to be an honest, flattering man. It must not be denied that I am a plain-dealing villain, entrusted with the muzzle and enfranchised with the clog. Therefore I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. Comes here. What news, Baraccio?
I came yonder from a great supper. Your brother, the general, is royally entertained by Leonora, and I can give intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve to be a model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
The most exquisite Claudio!
Even he!
A proper squire! Who? Which way looks he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonora.
Ah, a very forward march chick. How came you to this?
In walks the general and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I whipped me behind the heiress, and there overheard and agreed upon that the general should woo Hero for himself, and, having obtained her, give her to Captain Claudio.
Come, let us thither. This may prove to my displeasure. That startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I could cross him anyway, I bless myself every way. Are you too sure will assist me?
To the death, sir.
Good. Let us to the banquet. Their cheer is greater than I am subdued. Would the cook were of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Colonel John here at supper?
I saw him not. How tardy that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
By my troth, nephew, thou wilt never get thee a wife if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your mother. Yes, faith, it is my cousin's duty to make courtesy and say, Mother, as it please you. But yet, for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow. Or else, make another courtesy and say, Mother, as it please me.
Nephew, I hope to see you one day fitted with a wife.
Not till God make women of some other metal than earth.
Daughter, remember what I told you? If the general do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin. If you be not wooed in good time, if the general be too important, tell him there's measure in everything, and so dance out the answer.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, auntie. I can see a church by daylight.
Sorry.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Son no more, lady, son no more. Didn't learn to see birds ever. 1 foot on sea, 1 foot on shore. To one thing constant never. Sign up so, but let them go. And be you blood and bone
singer, sir.
Ah, no, faith thou singest well enough for a ship.
If she had been a dog that should have howled thus, they would have hanged her.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So, you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
And when please you to say so?
When I like your favor. For God defend the lute should be like the case.
Oh, my favor is Philemon's roof. Within the house's show.
Oh, why then your faith should be thatched.
Speak low if you speak low.
Well, I would that you did like me. Huh? I would that you did like me.
So would not I. For your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you more. The hearers may cry amen.
God, match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God, keep her from my sight when the dance is done. Answer, Claire.
Oh, no more words. The clerk has answered. I know you well enough. You are Signor Antonio.
That word I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell the truth, I counterfeit him.
Oh, you could never do him so ill well unless you were the very man. Look, here's his dry hand. You are he.
And a word I am not.
Oh, you think I don't know you by your excellent wit can hurt you? Don't shoot. Huh? You are he. Graces will appear and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
Well, that I was disdainful. This was Major Beatrice that said so.
What's she?
I'm sure you know her well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did she never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is she?
Why, she's the general's jester. A very dull fool. Only her gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in her, and the commendation is not in her wit, but in her villainy. For she both pleases man and angers them, and then they laugh at her. I'm sure she's in the fleet. I would she had boarded me.
When I know the gentlewoman, I'll tell her what you say.
Do. She'll but break a comparison or two on me which, peradventure, not laughed or marked at, strikes her into melancholy. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Oh, conga! Next turning.
Sir, my brother is amorous on Hero, hath withdrawn her mother to break with her about it. The ladies follow, and but one visor remains.
And it is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Major Beatrice?
You know me well. I am she.
Major, you are very near my brother in his love. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal for his birth. You may be an honest woman in it.
How know you he loves her?
I overheard him swear his affection.
So did I too, and swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us return to the banquets.
Thus answer I in the name of Beatrice, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The general woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself and trust no agent. For beauty's a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. This was an accident of hourly proof which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Claudio?
Yes, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow. About your own business, Captain. What fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck like a usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the general hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
But did you think the general would have served you thus?
I pray you leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post?
If it will not be, then I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sedges? But that Signor Benedict should know me and not know me. The general's fool? Ha! Maybe I go under that title because I am married. Yeah. But so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter disposition of Benedict that puts the world into his person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, Major, where is the captain? Did you see him?
Troth, sir, I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady, and I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who being overjoyed at finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Wilt thou make a trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealing.
Yet it had not been amiss the rod had been made, and the garland too. For the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed upon you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith you say honestly.
Signor Benedict hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that spoke with him told him he is much wronged by you.
Oh, he misused me past the endurance of a block. He told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the general's jester. That I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like one at a mark, with a whole army shooting at me. He speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If his breath were as terrible as his terminations, there were no living near him. He would infect to the North Star. I would not marry him, though he were endowed with all Adam had left before he transgressed. Come, talk not of him.
Look, here he comes.
Will you command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand for you now to the Antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker now from the furthest inch of Asia. Bring you the length of Prester John's foot, fetch you a hair off the great Khan's beard. Do you any embassage to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words conference with this ogre? You have no employment for me.
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir! Here comes a dish I love not. I cannot endure Signor tongue.
Come, sir, come. You have lost the heart of Major Beatrice.
Indeed, sir. She lent me a while, and I gave her use for it. A double heart for her single one. Mary, once before, she won it of me with false dice. Therefore, you may well say I have lost it.
You have put her down, sir. You have put her down.
So I would not should do me, sir, lest I should prove the father of fools. I have brought Captain Claudio, whom you sent me to see.
Oh, how now, Captain? Oh, wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, good sir.
Oh, how then? Sick?
Neither, sir.
The captain is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil captain. Civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
In faith, senor, I think your blazon to be true. Though I'll be sworn if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair hero is won. I have broke with her mother, and her goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Captain, cousin, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. The general hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Captain! 'Tis your cue!
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin! Or, if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither.
In faith, senor, you have a merry heart.
Yes, sir, I thank it, poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he's in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin!
Good Lord, for a lion! Thus goes everyone through the world but I, and I am sunburned. I may sit in a corner and cry, hi-ho, for a housewife.
Senor Benedict, I will get you one.
I would rather have one of your father's getting. Heck, your grace, nor a sister like you.
Will you have me, senor?
Unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech you, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you. For out of question you were born in a merry hour.
No, sure, sir, my mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that was I born. Cousins! God give you joy!
Nephew, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, auntie, by your pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited fellow.
There's little of the melancholy element in him, dear sir. He's never sad but when he sleeps, and not even sad then. For I've heard my daughter say he hath often dreamed of unhappiness and waked himself with laughing.
He cannot endure to hear tell of a marriage.
Oh, by no means. He locks all wooers out of suit.
He were an excellent husband for Beatrice.
If they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Captain Claudia, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, sir? Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
And not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 night, and a time too brief too to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake the head at so long a breathing. But I warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and Major Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it imagined, I doubt not but to fashion it. If you three will but minister such assistance as I shall give thee direction.
I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, sir.
And you too, gentle hero.
I will do any modest office, sir, to help my cousin to a good wife.
And Beatrice is not the unhopefullest wife that I know. Thus far can I praise her. She is of a noble strain, and approved valor, and confirmed honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, that he shall fall in love with Beatrice. And I, with your two helps, will so practice on Beatrice that in despite of her quick wit and her queasy stomach, she shall fall in love with Benedict. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory will be ours, for we are the only love gods! The only love gods! Go in with me and I will tell you my trick.
It is so! Captain Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonora!
Yes, sir. But I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinal to me. I am sick in displeasure in him, and whatsoever comes athwart, his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, sir, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told you a year since how much I am in favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
Well, I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out your lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go to your brother the general and spare not to tell him he had wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily hold up, to a contaminated stale such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the general, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, to kill Leonora. Looking for any other issue?
Only to despite them, I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw Pedro and Claudio alone. Tell them that you know Hero loves me. And tend a kind of zeal both to the general and Claudio, as in love of your brother's honor, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus likely to be cozened with the semblance of the maid that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero. If Margaret term me Claudio, and bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. For in the meantime, I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall be such seeming proof of Hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparations overthrown.
Good. Grow this to any adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in working this, and thy fee is $1,000.
Oh, well, be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will presently go learn the day of marriage.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio.
I have known when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife. And now he'd rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. And now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet.
He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now is he turned orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet. Just so many strange dishes.
May I be so converted and see with these eyes? Oh, I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster, but I'll take my oath on it. Till he have made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool.
One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain.
Wise or I'll none.
Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her.
fair, or I'll never look on him.
Mild, or come not near me.
Noble, or not I for an angel.
Of good discourse.
An excellent musician.
And her hair shall be... of what color it please God.
The general and Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbor.
How still the evening is, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Beatrice hath hid herself.
Oh, very well, sir.
Come hither, Leonora. What was it you told me of today? That your nephew, Benedict, was in love with Major Beatrice?
Oh, Stock on, the foul cit! I did never think that man would have loved any woman!
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful that he should so dote on Major Beatrice, whom he hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that he loves her with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Oh, maybe he doth but counterfeit.
They ain't like enough.
Oh, God! Counterfeit? There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as he discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows he?
Bait the hook, this fish will bite.
What effects, good sir? He will sit... You heard my daughter tell you how?
She did indeed.
How, pray you, you amaze me. I would have thought his spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, sir, especially against Beatrice.
I should think this is a gull, but then Leonora speaks it. Knavery cannot sure hide himself in such reverence.
She had taken the infection.
Hold it up.
Hath he made his affection known to Beatrice?
No, and swears he never will. That's his torment.
Shall I, says he, that have so often countered her with scorn, write to her that I love her?
This says he now, as he's beginning to write, for he'll be up 20 times a night, and there will he sit in his shirt till he hath written a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
When he had written it and she was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets.
That!
Oh! He tore the letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed at himself that he should be so immodest to write to one he knew would flout him. I measure her, says he, by my own spirit, for I should flout her if she writ to me. Yes, though I love her, I should.
And then, down upon his knees he falls, weeps, sobs, beats his heart, tears his hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Beatrice! God give me patience.
He doth indeed. My daughter says so. And the ecstasy hath so much overboard him that my daughter is sometimes afeared he will do a desperate outrage to himself.
It were good that Beatrice knew of it by some other if he will not discover it.
To what end? She would make but a sport of it, and torment the poor man worse.
If she should, it were an alms to hang her. He's an excellent sweet fellow, and out of all suspicion, he is virtuous.
And he is exceeding wise.
In everything, but in loving Beatrice. I pray you, tell Beatrice of it and hear what she will say.
Were it good, think you?
Oh, Hero thinks surely he will die, for he says he will die if she love him not. And he will die ere he make his love known, and he will die if she woo him. Rather than he will bate one breath of his accustomed crossness.
He doth well if he should make tender of his love. 'Tis very possible she'll scorn him. For a lady, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
She is a very proper woman!
She doth have a good outward happiness.
Before God, and in my mind, very wise.
She doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take her to be valiant.
As Penthesilea, I assure you. Well, I am sorry for your nephew. Shall we go seek Beatrice and tell her of his love?
Never tell her, good sir! Let him wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. He may wear his heart out first.
Well, we will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I do love Beatrice well, and I could wish she would modestly examine herself to see how much she is unworthy so good a man.
Sir, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If she do not dote on him upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same net spread for him. And that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. Aye, that's the scene that I would see, which will be merely a dumb show. Let us send him to call her in to dinner.
This can be no trick! The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of it from Hero. They seem to pity the man. It seems their affections have their full bent. Oh, love me! Why? Okay. It must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from him. They say, too, he will rather die than give any sign of affection. I did not think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the man is handsome. 'Tis the truth. I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so. I cannot reprove it. And wise, but for loving me. By my troth, it is no addition to his wit, nor no great argument of his folly, for I will be horribly in love with him! I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed for so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? One loves the meat in one's youth that one cannot endure in one's age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe woman from the career of her humor? No! The world must be peopled. When I said I would die single, I did not think I should live till I were married. Here comes Signor Benedict. By this day, he is a handsome fellow. I do spy some marks of love in him.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Sweet Benedict, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message.
Yeah! Just so much as one may take upon a knife's point and choke a dog withal. You have no stomach, madam? Very well.
Against my will, I am sent bid you come in to dinner? There's a double meaning in that! I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much to say, any pains I take for you are as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity on him, I am a villain.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Benedict proposing with Pedro and Claudio. Whisper his ear and tell him I and Ursula walk in the orchard and our whole discourse is all of him. Say that thou overheardst us and bid him steal into the pleached bower where honeysuckles ripened by the sun forbid the sun to enter, like favorites made proud by princes that advance their pride against that power that bred it. There will he hide him to listen our purpose. This is thy office, bear thee well in it and leave us alone.
I'll make him come, I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Benedict doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Beatrice. When I do name her, let it be thy part to praise her more than ever Lady merited. My talk to thee must be how Beatrice is sick in love with Benedict. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin.
Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then go we near him, for his ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait that we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, he is too disdainful. I know his spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Beatrice loves Benedict so entirely?
So says the general and my fiancé.
And did they bid you tell him of it?
They did entreat me to acquaint him of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Beatrice, to wish her wrestle with affection and never to let Benedict know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full, as fortunate a bed as ever Benedict shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love! I know she doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a woman, but nature never framed anyone's heart of prouder stuff than that of Benedict. Disdain and scorn right sparkling in his eyes, miscrizing what they look on, and his wit values itself so highly that to him all matter else seems weak. He cannot love, nor take no shape nor product of affection. He is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore certainly it were not good he knew her love lest he make sport at it.
Why? You speak true. I never said, saw a lady, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured. But he would spell her backward. If tall, the lance ill-headed. If low, an agate very vilely cut. If speaking, why a vein blown with all winds. If silent, wise, a block moved with none. So turns he everyone the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure. Sure. Such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Benedict is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell him so? If I should speak, he would mock me into air. Oh, he would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Beatrice, like covered fire, consume away inside. Waste inwardly. It were a better death than die with knocks, which is as bad as eye tickling.
Yet tell him of it. Hear what he will say.
No! Rather, I will go to Beatrice and counsel her to fight against her passion. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. He cannot be so much without true judgment, having So swift and excellent a wit as he is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a woman as the Lady Beatrice.
Indeed, she's the only maid of Italy. Always accepted, my dear Claudio.
I pray you be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy, but Major Beatrice for shape, for bearing, for argument and valor, goes foremost in report to all the army.
Indeed, she hath an excellent good name.
Her excellence did earn it ere she had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day. Tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
He is limed, madam. We have caught him.
If it proves so, then loving goes my hat. Some shoot the kill with arrows, some with traps.
What fires in mine ears? Can this be true? Since I condemn for pride and scorn so much, contempt, farewell, and youthful pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Beatrice, love on! I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reporting me.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, and then I go toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, sir, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will be bold with Beatrice only for her company. For from the crown of her head to the sole of her foot she is all mirth. She hath twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstrings, and the little hangman dare not shoot at her. She hath a heart as sound as a bell, and her tongue is the clapper for what her heart thinks her tongue speaks.
Gallants? I am not as I have been.
So say I. And methinks you are sadder.
I hope she be in love.
I hang her, truant. There's no true drop of blood in her to be so truly touched with love. If she be sad, she wants money.
Oh, I have the toothache.
What? Sigh for the toothache?
Well, everyone can master a grief, but she that has it.
Yet say I, she is in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in her, unless it be a fancy she hath to strange disguises. Unless she have a fancy to this foolery, as it appears she hath. She is no fool for fancy, as you would have it appear she is.
If she not be in love with some man, why there is no believing old signs. She brushes her hair mornings. What should that bode?
Nay, she rubs herself with perfume. Can you smell her out by that?
Why, that's as much to say, the sweet youth's in love.
Oh, the greatest note of it is her melancholy.
Nay, but when was she one to wash her face?
Yea, or to paint herself.
Nay, but her jesting spirit.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for her. Conclude. She is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves her.
That would I know too, I warrant. One that knows her not.
Yes, and her ill condition, and, in despite of all, dies for her.
Oh, he shall be buried with his face upward.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache. Old Senora, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak with you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life to break with her about Benedict.
'Tis even so. Hero and Ursula have by this played their parts with Benedict, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My brother! God save you.
Good den, brother.
If your leisure served, I shall speak with you.
In private?
If it please you yet, Captain Claudio may hear.
What's the
For
matter?
what I speak concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that, when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, aim better at me by that. I now will manifest for my brother. I think he holds you well in endearness of heart, hath hoped to effect your ensuing marriage, surely suit ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
I came hither, but circumstances shortened. There has been long talking to of the lady is disloyal.
Hero?
Even she, Leonora's hero, your hero, everyone's
Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I can say she were worse. Think of you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wonder not till further warned. Go but with me tonight, and you shall see her chamber window. Enter the night before her wedding day. If you love her, then tomorrow wed her. But it better fit your honor and your judgment to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. And if you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have heard more, and when you have seen more, proceed accordingly.
If there be any reason why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation where I should be wed, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, there will I disgrace her.
I will disparage her no further till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Oh, hero!
Come. Hero, come! Come, hero!
Oh, day untowardly turned!
Oh, mischief strangely thwarting!
Oh, plague well prevented. So will you say when you have all seen the sequel?
Are you good man then, true?
Yes. Or else it were pity we should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were punishment too good for you, if you have any allegiance in you, being chosen for the neighborhood watch.
Well, give us our charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugh Oatcake, sir, or George Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come forward, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be well favored is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have. I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, why, sir, give God thanks and make no boast of it. And for your reading and writing, well, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit one to be constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the flashlight. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the watch's name.
How if they will not stand?
Why then, take no note of him, but let him go. And presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you were rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of our townspeople.
Truly, and they are to meddle, but with none but our townspeople. Also, you shall make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We would rather sleep than talk. We know it belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like a most ancient and quiet watchman, for I do not see how sleeping should offend. Only take care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why then, leave them alone till they are sober, and then, if they make you not then the better answer, you may say they're not the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you do meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. For such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much less a man that hath any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not wake?
Why, then depart in peace and let the child wake her with crying. For the ewe that will not hear its lamb when it baws will never answer a calf when she bleats.
It's very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the general's own person. If you meet the general in the night, you may stay him.
Mary, by Our Lady, I think that she may not.
$5 to 1 on it by any man that knows the statutes. He may stay him. Marry, not without the general be willing, for indeed the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
By Our Lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night. If anything of weight chances, call up me. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own, and good night.
Well, master, we have our charge. Let us sit here on this church bench until 2, and then all to bed.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you keep watch about Signora Leonora's door. The wedding being there tonight, there is a great coil. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
What? Conrad! Conrad, I say!
Here, man, I am at thy elbow.
Mass, and my elbow itched. I thought there would a scab follow.
I will owe thee an answer for that. And now forward with thy tale.
Well, stand thee close then under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I, like a true drunkard, will utter all to thee.
Some treason, master, yet stand close.
Therefore know that I have tonight earned of Colonel John $1,000.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Well, you should sooner ask if any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones, the poor ones may ask what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That shows thou art unconfirmed. Didst thou not hear someone?
No, 'twas the vane on the house.
Not so, neither. But know that I have tonight wooed the Lady Margaret by the name of Hero. She leaves me out her chamber window. bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. First, I should tell you how the General Claudio and my master planted and placed and possessed by Colonel John did see, afar off in the orchard, this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was hero?
2 of them did! The General and Claudio. But the devil my master knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, and partly by the dark of night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that John had made. Away went Claudio, enraged, swore he would meet her as he was appointed the next morning at the temple, and there, before the whole congregation, shame her what he saw o'ernight, and send her home again without a husband.
We bid you in the name of the watch, stand.
Call off the right, Master Constable. We have here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that was ever known in the Commonwealth.
Masters. Masters.
Never speak. We charge you, let us obey you to come with us.
Ha! We are like to prove a goodly commodity, being taken up with these men's bills.
A commodity in question. I want you come. We'll obey you.
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Benedict and desire him to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid him come hither.
Well, troth, I think your other necklace were better.
No, pray thee, good Meg, I'll wear this.
By my troth, it is not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
I like the new veil within excellently. And your gown's the most rare fashion of faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troth, 'tis but a nightgown in respect of yours. Cloth of gold and cuts, lined with silver, set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, and skirts. Ugh. Round underborn with a bluish tinsel, but for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 on't.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
Ooh, 'twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee, art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your fiancé honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence a husband. If bad thinking do not rest true speaking, I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think, if it be the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise, 'tis light and not heavy. Ask Benedict else. Here he comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak in the sick tune?
I am out of all other tune, methinks.
Oh, illegitimate construction. I scorn that with my heels.
'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceeding ill. Hi-ho!
These gloves the captain sent me, they're an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A man and stuff. There's goodly catching of cold.
Oh, God help me! God help me! How long have you professed apprehension?
Even since you left it, doth not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Carduus Beatrixus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
There thou prickest him with a thistle.
Beatrixus? Why Beatrixus? You have some moral in this Beatrixus?
No, by my troth, I have no moral. Meaning, I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, by Our Lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think. If I would think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love,
And yet Beatrice was such another, and now she has become a woman. She swore she would never marry, and yet now, in despite of her heart, she eats her meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not. But methinks you look with eyes as other men do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw! The general, the captain, Major Beatrice, Colonel John, and all the gallants of town are come to fetch you to church!
Help me to dress, good cause, good Meg and Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Good man, Verges, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help, I could desire they were, but in faith, as honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God I am as honest as any man living that is an old man, and no honester than I.
Our odorous, palabrous neighbor Verges.
Neighbors, you are tedious?
It pleases your worship to say so, but we are the town's officers. And indeed, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all of your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, eh?
Yea, though it were 1,000 pounds more than it is, for I hear as good exclamation of your worship as of any in the city. And though I be but a poor man, yet I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Nay, sir. Our watch tonight, except in your worship's presence, have taken a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
An old man, sir, he will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said, i' faith, neighbor Verges. Well, God's a good man. If two men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. Well, God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed. Neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts God gives.
I must leave you.
One moment, sir. Our watch have indeed comprehended two auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be a suffragance.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
My lady, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. There be that shall drive some of them to a non-comb. Only get you to the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Come, Reverend Francis, be brief. Only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterward.
You come hither, Captain, to marry this lady. No.
To be married to her. Reverend, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this man.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my love.
Know you any, Captain?
I dare make his answer, none.
Oh, what men dare do. What men may do. What men daily do, not knowing what they do.
How now, interjection?
Stand thee by, Reverend. Mother, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God to give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Good sir, you learned me noble thankfulness. There, Leonora, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all of you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is not! She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear sir, if you, in your own proof, have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity...
I know what you would say if I have known her. You will say she did embrace me as a husband and so extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonora! I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister, showed bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee! Seeming. I will write against it. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as is the bud ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well, that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet sir, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Madam, they are spoken, and these things are true.
True! Oh, God.
This looks not like a nuptial.
Leonora, stand I here. Is this the general? Is this the general's brother? Is this face hero's? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and by that motherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee, do so as thou art my child.
Oh, God, defend me. How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Mary, that can Hero. Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. Who was it that talked with you yesternight out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer to this!
I talked with no one at that hour. Not I.
Then are you no maiden? Leonora, I am sorry you must hear. Myself, my brother, and this grieved captain did see her, hear her at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window who hath indeed most like a liberal villain confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, fie! They cannot be named, not to be spoken. There's no chastity enough in language to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernments.
Oh, Hero, what hero hadst thou been if half thy outward graces had been placed about the thoughts and counsels of thy heart? But fare thee well, most foul, most fair, farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelid shall conjecture hang, to turn all thoughts of beauty into thoughts of harm. And never shall it more be gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Why, how now, cousin? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirit some.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, auntie! Hero, why, hero? Auntie! Lady Beatrice, Reverend!
Fate, take not away thy heavy hand! Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for!
How now, cousin Hero?
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero! Do not ope thine eyes! For did I think thou wouldst not quickly die? Thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames, myself would, on the rearward of reproaches, strike at thy life! Grieved I had but one! Did I for that, at frugal nature's frame, oh! One too much by thee! Why had I won? Why ever was thou lovely in my eyes? Ah! She is fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath dropped too few to wash her clean again.
Madam, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied!
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No. Truly not, although until last night I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed, confirmed. Oh, that is stronger made, which was before barred up with ribs of iron. Would the general lie? And Claudio lie, who loved her so that speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die!
Hear me a little. For I have been silent so long and given way unto this course of fortune by noting of the lady. I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face, 1,000 innocent shames. And in her eye there hath appeared a fire to burn away the error that these men do hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading nor my observations if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Reverend, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekest thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, who is it you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of anyone alive than that which made his modesty doth for it, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my mother, prove you that anyone with me converts in hours of me, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death!
There's some strange misprision in the general.
2 of them have the very bent of honor. And if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it. Time hath not yet so dried this blood of mine, but they shall find awaked in such a kind both strength of limb and policy of mind to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here, the others left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this well carried on her behalf shall change slander to remorse. That's some good, but not for that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She died, as it must be so maintained, upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out that what we have we prize not to the worth whilst we enjoy it, but having lacked and lost, why, then we rack the value, then we find the virtue that possession would not show us whilst it was ours. So shall it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into the study of his imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life into the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the events in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. But, if all aim but this be leveled false, the supposition of the lady's death will be quenched by the wonder of her.
Madam Leonora, let the Reverend advise you. And though you know my inwardness in love is very much unto the General and Claudio, yet, by mine honor, I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away.
For to strange sores, strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day perhaps is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Signor Benedict, have you wept all this while?
Yeah. And I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might someone deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way. But no such friend.
Must a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not mine.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Ha! Is not that strange?
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I loved nothing so well as you. But believe me not. And yet, I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I'm sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Benedict, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest. I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me!
What offense, sweet Benedict?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it, with all thy heart.
I love you. So much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Harry, good.
In faith. faith I will go!
We'll be friends first! You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy. Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height of villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman?
Oh, that I were a man.
What? Bear her in hand until they come shake hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rake her!
Oh God, that I were a man! I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Talk with someone out at a window of proper saying!
Benedict.
Sweet hero! She's wronged! She's slandered! She's undone!
Benedict. Generals and captains, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count, Captain Comfect, a sweet gallant, surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore, I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Benedict, by this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love, some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yes, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand. And so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so farewell.
Is our whole assembly appeared?
Which be the malefactors?
Marry, that am I and my partner.
Hey, that's certain.
I have the exhibition to examine.
Which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, marry, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Baraccio.
Pray write down Baraccio. Yours, Sirrah?
I am an officer, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Officer Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yes, sir, we hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God. And write God first, for God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little more than false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Married, sir, we say we are none.
Marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come you hither, Sirrah. A word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, it is thought that you are false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are none.
Well, stand aside. Have you writ down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call upon the watch. It is their accuser.
I marry, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Master, I charge you, accuse these men.
This one said, sir, that Colonel John, the general's brother, was a villain.
Write down Colonel John a villain. Why, that's flat perjury, to call a general's brother villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, brother, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you will her say else?
Mary, that she had received $1,000 of John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yeah, by mass that it is. What else, fellow?
And that Captain Hero did say upon his word that he would disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain! Thou wilt be condemned into the everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
That is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Colonel John is this morning secretly stolen away. Hero, in this manner, was accused, and in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable, let these two be bound and brought to Leonora's. I will go before and show her their examination.
Come, and let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hands of...
Off, coxcomb! God's my life, where's the sexton? Let him write down the town's officer coxcomb. Oh, come, bind them, thou naughty varlet.
Away! You are an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But masters, forget not that I am an ass. Though it not be written down, yet remember that I am an ass. No, thou villain, thou art full of piety, which shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as any is in the sea. And a fellow that hath had losses, and one that has 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. Come, bear them away. Oh, that I have been writ down an ass.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself. 'Tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a mother that so loved her child, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine, and I of her will gather patience. But there is none. Therefore give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Therein from children do we nothing differ.
I pray thee peace. I will be flesh and blood, for there was never yet philosopher that could endure the toothache patiently.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is blind, and that shall Claudio know. So shall the general and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Well, here come the general and Claudio hastily.
Good den, good den.
Good day to both of you.
Hear you?
We have some haste, Leonora.
Some haste, good sir. Well, fare you well, good sir. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, Leonora.
If she could right herself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs her?
Marry, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler, thou. I fear thee not.
Mary, beshrew my hand if it should give your age such cause of fear.
Tush, tush, man! Never fleer and jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool. I say thou hast belied my innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy!
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
You say not right, Leonora.
Sir, I'll prove it on his body, if he dare. Despite his nice fence and his active practice, his May of youth and bloom of lustihood.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daff me? Thou hast killed my child.
If thou killst me, boy, thou shalt kill a man. Win me and wear me. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir boy, come. Follow me. Sir boy, I'll whip you from your foining fence, nay, as I am a gentleman, I will.
Brother?
Hold you content. God knows I love my niece, and she is dead, slandered to death by villains that dare as well answer a man indeed as I dare take a serpent by the tongue. Boys, apes, braggarts, punks, cowards! Hold you content! What man, I know them, yea, and what they weigh, even to the utmost scruple. Scrambling, outfacing, fashion-monging boys that lie and cog and flout, deprave and slander, go antically, show outward hideousness, speak off half a dozen dangerous words so that they might hurt their enemies if they durst. And this is all.
But Brother Antony.
Come, 'tis no matter. Do not you meddle. Let me deal in this.
Gentles both, we will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on mine honor she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
Good sir! Good sir!
I will not hear you.
No! Come, brother! Away! I will be heard.
So you shall. Or some of us will smart for it.
See, here comes the one we went to seek.
Now, my friend, what news?
Good day, Captain.
Welcome, Beatrice. You are almost come to part almost affray.
We had like to have had our two noses snapped off with two old folks without teeth.
Leonora and her brother. What thinkest thou?
In a false quarrel, there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
As I am an honest man, she looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
What? Courage, friend!
I pray you choose another subject.
Oh, by this light she changes more and more. I think she be angry indeed.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
Oh, God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed an innocent lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. Sir, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother, the bastard, is fled from Messina. You among you have killed a sweet and innocent lady. For my Lord Lackbeard here, he and I shall meet. And until then, peace be with him.
She is in earnest.
In the most profound earnest. And I'll warrant you, for the love of Benedict.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
Soft you, let me be. Did she not say my brother was fled?
Come you, sir. If justice cannot tame you, she'll ne'er weigh more raisins in her balance. Nay, if you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now? Two of my brother's men bound. Baraccio one.
Hearken after their offense, good sir.
Constable, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have borne false witness. Also, they have uttered untrue things. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth, and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what these men have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what is their offense. Sixth and lastly, why are they committed? And to conclude, what lay you to their charge?
Rightly reasons.
Who hath you offended that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What is your offense?
Sir, let me go no further to mine answer. Do you hear me? And let this captain kill me. I have deceived even your very eyes, which your wisdoms could not uncover these shallow fools have brought to light, who, in the night, overheard me confessing to this man how your brother Colonel John incensed me to slander the lady Hero, how you were brought into the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments, how you dishonored her when you should have married her. Well, my villainy they have upon record, which I would rather see with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead on mine and my commander's false accusations, and to be brief, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not the speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison while she's uttered it.
But did my brother set thee on to this?
Yeah. And paid you richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet Hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance which I loved at first.
Bear away the plaintiffs. By this time, our sexton hath reformed Signora Leonora of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify, when time and place shall serve, that I am an ass.
There's Mrs. Leonora and the brother.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another one like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you wish to know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the knave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yes, even I alone.
Not so. Villain, thou beliest thyself. Here sit a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, gentles, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin, yet I sinned not, but in mistaking.
I my soul, nor I. And yet, to satisfy this good old lady, I would bend under any heavy weight that she'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning, come you to my house. And since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost the copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Oh, noble lady, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow, then, I will expect your coming. Tonight, I take my leave. This naughty wench shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, no, by my soul she was not, nor knew not what she did when she spoke with me. But has always been just and virtuous in everything that I do know by her.
Moreover, sir, which is not indeed under black and white, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me ass. I beseech you that it be remembered in his punishment.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Your grace speaks like a most thankful and worshipful youth, and I thank God for you.
There's for thy pains.
God save the foundation.
Go! I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an arrant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct yourself for the benefit of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. May God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart. And if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning. Sirs, farewell.
Farewell, good sirs. We look for you tomorrow. We will not fail.
Tonight I mourn with Hero.
Bring you these prisoners on. We'll talk with Margaret, how her acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
The God of love that sits above and knows me. Knows me. How pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can find out no rhyme for lady, but baby, an innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, a hard rhyme. School, fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet. Sweet Benedict, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yes, madam, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay, but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is with knowing what has passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words. And thereupon I will kiss thee?
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore, I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. Now I pray you tell me, which of mine bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love. A good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I'll never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
An old instance, Benedict. Now, tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. And there will I leave you two, for here comes one in haste.
Senor! You must come to your aunt. Yonder's old coil at home. It is proved my lady hero hath been falsely accused, the general and Claudio mightily abused, and John is the author of all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, madam?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And moreover, I will go with thee to thy aunt's,
Is this the monument of Leonora?
It is.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death, in recompense of wrongs, gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon this tomb, praising her when I am dumb. Now, music, sound, and sing your solemn hymn. Pardon, goddess of the night, those that slew thy virgin night. For the witch with tales of woe round about her tomb they go. Midnight, assist our moan, help us to sigh and groan. Heavily, heavily, graves yawn and yield your dead, till death be uttered. Heavily, heavily. No!
No!
Now into thy bones, good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Good morrow, masters. Put your torches out. The wolves have preyed. And look, the gentle day, before the wheels of Phoebus round about, dapples the drowsy east with spots of gray. Thanks to you all, and leave us. Fare you well.
Good morrow, masters. Each his several way.
Come, let us hence and put on other weeds, and then to Leonora's we will go.
And Timon now with luckier issue speeds than that for whom we rendered up this woe.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the General and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all the question.
Well, I'm glad all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith and forced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen, all. Withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither, masked. The General and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, brother. You must be father to your sister's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Reverend, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, madam?
To bind me or undo me. One of them. Lady Leonora, truth it is, good madam. Your nephew regards me with an eye of favor.
That I, my daughter, lent him, 'tis most true.
And I do, with an eye of love, requite him.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio, and the General. But what's your will?
Your answer, ma'am, is enigmatical. But for my will is your good will. May stand with ours on this day to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage. In which, good reverend, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes Claudio and the General.
Good morrow, General.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind.
Call her forth, brother. Here's the Reverend ready.
Good morrow, Beatrice. Why, what's the matter that thou hast such a February face? So full of frost, of storm, of cloudiness.
Here comes other reckonings.
Hey.
Which is the lady I must seize upon?
The same as she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not till you take her hand before the Reverend and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy Reverend, I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live.
A former hero that is dead!
She died, good sir, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar. Into the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair, Reverend. Which is Benedict?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no more than reason.
Why then, your aunt and the General and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth, no. No more than reason.
Why then, my cousin Margaret and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore that you were almost dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me.
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Cousin, I am sure you love the lady.
And all be sworn upon that she loves him, for here's a note written in her hand, a halting sonnet of her own pure brain, fashioned to Benedict.
And here's another writ in my cousin's hand, stolen from his pocket, containing his affection unto Beatrice.
A miracle. Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee, but by this light, I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day, I yield upon great persuasion, and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Please, I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Beatrice, the married woman?
I'll tell thee what, sir. A college of wit crackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram?
Yes.
No, no, no. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I shall hear nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it. Therefore, never flout at me for what I have said against it. For a man is a giddy thing. And this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised and love my cousin.
Oh, I had well hoped thou wouldst have denied Benedict, so that I might have cudgeled thee out of thy single life.
Come, we are friends. Let us have a dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our hearts and our heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word, therefore play music. General, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife.
Sir, your brother John is taken in flight and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers!